This is Christopher's, and I'm a Robert. This is a very extra special spoopy episode of The Folly of Man. We welcome you to the after show. So we're also kind of in a new studio space because I was really fucking tired of having to undo my office every time. And I know it's hard to tell that where we were shooting was an office, but it was. So we are in a more dedicated space, a dedicated space.
Dedicated. It should be a little more permanent setup, hopefully, so...
We'll see.
We'll see.
Until I, being the manic one, decides that I don't like the way things look and has to change right now. I'd say that thus far, it's a pretty good episode.
Oh, we have a watcher. Say hi, watcher, so we know who you are.
Oh hi everybody.
There's two people.
Hi everybody.
We have people.
Hiya, Dr. Nick.
Hi, everybody.
So, full disclosure, there's been a little bit of a consumption of a substance that during the 1920s was probably banned in the country. We're not drunk. We've just had a little bit to consume.
Yes, we have.
Because we were filming a very extra special, spoopy episode of The Folly of Man.
And we'll give you a heads up. We did not record in the actual chapter, so that's important.
Yes, you should know. There is no... We're not covering... what's the next one? Chapter 29?
Chapter 29.
Yeah, yes. We did not cover Chapter 29.
Did you let us know yet?
Of course not.
Okay. I can't wait for you to, because it's a very good chapter.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to it, I think.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. So, this... in this episode, this is the Halloween episode. So, and I love how you... Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's great. That doesn't affect me. My phone notified me of an app that wasn't working that we're not using, so great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it went well. It was fucked, is what it was.
That's... You'll see. You'll see what we actually did come Wednesday. Come Wednesday.
Last week, people got surprised because I felt generous and decided to release the episode late on
Tuesday. I am guilty. I am afraid. I do have to admit to this. Robert does the editing. I don't do any editing.
What, do people think you're doing the editing?
If they do, then they're wrong.
I mean,
I don't do any editing.
So the way the show works out is, oh, hello. It just says liquid nitrogen.
Smilf CE. It's funny, we don't actually show any live casters anymore, any live watchers. So if you're there, we can't see you.
Yeah, it's all right.
The YouTube app is
what was I talking about? Oh, yes. So the way the show essentially works is that Chris, with all of this wonderful knowledge of Pony, you put together our show notes. Mm-hmm. Generally. Sometimes you don't.
Well, I mean, this is a very specific instance.
And then that's when we get messages from K-Cat that are like, hey, by the by, you fucked up. You played yourself, and you left out some important parts from the chapter. But you know what? There's important parts of the chapter that just get left out.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I mean, it's the importance of the show is that we understand exactly what sticks and what doesn't. If something doesn't stick, then it's important that we understand why it doesn't stick.
I'm kind of uncomfortable that the whole viewpoint of the show is dependent on my perspective.
Well, no, I mean, that's the point. That's the point, is that we see it from your perspective, we see it from my perspective, we see it from
It's a lot of pressure to perform, and I worry about, wilting at the opportunity. So, but anyways, but the other side is that my background is I have a degree in... I shouldn't say that, because people are going to be like, wow, your editing is really shit. I'm also really lazy.
That's the key point there.
I was going to say, I shouldn't tell people I have a degree in cinematography, because they'll be like, well, the camera and lighting work is shit. Yeah, but we don't put any effort into this other than making sure that it generally gets in on time.
It doesn't look like it's so bad that you actually want to vomit. However, after this episode, you may want to.
Originally, we didn't know we'd be doing video at all. I mentioned it to you. I was like, let's just throw up a GoPro and let's just have some video.
Well, no,
there.
The first one was... What was the first one? Was it your phone?
The first three were...
Yeah, it was your phone.
Yeah. I don't think the first one was the phone. It may have been.
It may have been. No, that's right. I think the second one was the GoPro. Because we went back and we used that Nikon that your family has. Yeah. To try to record smaller instances. And the problem with the Nikon is that it only records for 10 minutes.
Record time.
Like most DSLRs.
Hey, Almanac Pony! How you doing? Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, goodness, we were supposed to pull up the show, the questions. For
we can answer questions now. Why not? Hey, it's a real loose. It's easy going. Oh, good. I'm glad that you're doing well. Hi, Almanac Pony. What's your name? Where are you from? Welcome to the show.
Oh God, we're recording.
Yeah. Hey, look, there's these idiots doing a thing for the thing, and they're on the thing. Yeah, I don't think this is super accurate.
That's very descriptive, sir.
We have no viewers, but we're getting comments, apparently. Yeah. I'm Craig, and hello from England. I'm a right Brit. Hello, Craig from England. Oh, marvelous. We have some friends from across the pond. You know what's funny is, though, most Americans just think that there's one English accent. So where in England are you? Nods respectfully while saying, God damn it, enjoying your socialism and free medical care.
Oh, goodness. So we might as well do some of the questions here, which I actually think you were one of them, Almanac Pony. I think I was asking too much last time. It was in an analytic mood and wanted lots of detail. That's the question. Oh, that's right. Asks for your views on reviews and book. What do you think about the book that is negative? So what do you think so far is something that you would consider a detriment?
A detriment to the book.
Negative aspect of the story.
Oh, is it too harsh to say ponies?
No, do it. That's the whole point, is we want to know your input on it.
I mean, that's one of the things in the past, is that it's a great Fallout story. I mean, so the reason why it makes it a more interesting Fallout story is that there's this lore connected to my... Oh, here we go. From Lincolnshire, I have a right British accent, the kind that every American thinks is attractive, which is both funny...
and the bane of your existence. Yeah,
and the bane of your... Oh, yes, Christopher. But is that too... No, that's more posh. That's not what your accent is. Or is it?
I don't remember what Lincolnshire the accent actually is.
I don't know where Lincolnshire is. I know general areas. Let's see here. Yeah, not snooty.
No, not the Londoner accent.
Well, see, we're from North Carolina, and this is the default accent for the middle of the state, and it's kind of a... It's kind of a... You know, it's actually very closely related to the original British accents. It is amazing.
If you actually listen to the people who, like, regularly spend time... understanding, documenting actual language progression.
By the way, also, North Carolina is a state inside the United States. We're not South Carolina, though. We're Best Carolina.
Yes, poor South Carolina. I'm very sorry for you. We get to call you Worst Carolina, but we're the only ones. Anybody else calls you Worst Carolina, we have to beat them up because, you know, you're
that being said, you and I are both big fans of tea. Mm-hmm. And not just tea, like loose leaf tea, like good tea.
Yeah, good tea.
That is one of the funny things about the United Kingdom and the American South, is that we're both obsessive about good tea.
Anyway, so, negative aspects of the story, yes. Winding it back.
Other than editing errors, other negatives, there have been... I feel like we've talked about this at times. I don't want to be too negative because I like the story.
I'm going to be completely honest. One thing that I actually think is negative is the amount of sexuality that's present in the story. And the only reason I think it's negative, I actually think it's not bad in the story itself.
I've touched on it a lot.
But it was so hard selling it to you in the first part because I was like, oh God, I could keep talking to you about it. And then it comes down to, we're counting how many, orgasms somebody's having.
I'll drink tea if it's cold. I like cold tea.
Iced tea.
Hot tea and cold tea. I drink tea all day. It's just drink tea every day.
This person is...
Wait, okay, so you got to know, there are people in the United States who drink cold tea with milk in it.
Oh.
Yeah. So like the Chicago area, they will drink unsweetened iced tea with milk in it.
Degenerates.
Right. Deplorables.
Oh, kid.
Still the word of the year.
There was one other one. Let me see if I can remember who it was. Oh, goodness. Oh, that's right. It was here.
It's one of the reasons that makes the apocalypse tempting. Now, that being said, do you drink your hot tea with milk in it? Because there's a big debate here. I
can't do milk and tea.
I'm not big on it, but there's a debate. Do you do the milk before the tea, or do you do the tea and then the milk? I'm curious to know.
I mean, you would have to temper the milk in some way, I guess. Then again, milk and coffee, I mean...
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, what's creamer but milk and coffee?
I know. But cream.
Okay, so let's go to our second question.
All right.
It's by ZOMG. Depends. Wild tea is delicious. Herbal green tea to relax.
Forget your troubles, too. I'll tell you what, how forget your troubles. You just stick a couple of sips of Jesus juice is what you're doing.
Good old, I guess, Irish whiskey. Then, potato whiskey.
We should say we both have English heritage, or rather British heritage of some kind.
Some kind, yeah.
Not English. Definitely not English. I got a lot of Scotch heritage. And
I do have English and Scottish and Welsh and Irish.
I was going to say, and we both have a heavy dose of German.
And very, very German.
Yeah, we're very, very sorry. Back to questions. I'll stop talking about tea now. Hey, this is the thing about a live stream. It's a dialogue. Technically, you could theoretically join this as a hangout, right? Something like
if we did hangouts.
Yeah.
We may do that in the future. And we're probably going to try for live reads coming up soon.
A listener hangout.
Probably
talk about a shit post.
I'm thinking we might do a live stream of an episode if we can try it sooner rather than later. I'm thinking maybe along the lines of episode 34.
Wow, that's really specific. Episode 34 or chapter 34?
Chapter 34. Sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say
because goodness knows what episode will be on.
We're gonna get there really soon. Is what we're gonna do. So
yeah, no, chapter 34.
Questions.
Okay, so question by ZOMG.
Zagamzaga. How much dedicated wham does Zagamzaga need?
Now that you are decently into the book, which background knowledge would you think is more important to the reader, the show or the game? There are certainly pieces from both in lore that are important to the story. You're way too drunk to be doing this.
What?
And the first time I read FOE, although I has played some Fallout, I only realized I had missed a ton of references when I looked back and replayed Fallout 3 New Vegas and a bit of Fallout 1. So which do you think is more... Well, actually, technically this would be more a question for me than it would be for him. Except we don't have anybody who's read it who hasn't played Fallout. I know there are a lot of people in the comments, but neither of us have been in that scenario. So I can't say. I feel like it's way more dependent upon My Little Pony than Fallout because it applies concepts from Fallout, but it actually... uses concepts from the show, so it relies on them, but it actually just kind of implements.
Let me put it this way for you.
It's an interface as opposed to inheritance.
If you'd only been exposed to Fallout and not My Little Pony, I don't think you'd enjoy this story very much. But if you had been exposed to My Little Pony and not Fallout, I think you can, and I think it's been shown that people can enjoy the story.
Yeah.
It's just... I mean, I'm the lone example.
I think it's a more dependent upon My Little Pony than Fallout, and the reason I think is because the setting is My Little Pony. The setting's not Fallout. The setting is My Little Pony, and so it relies your knowledge of the characters and the events therein far more than it relies on that. Like when we went to the to Luna and her banishment to the moon, his Nightmare Moon, you were kind of like a little bit wit.
I had no idea what that meant.
So,
and apparently it was episode 1 of My Little Pony, which sounds like a really fucked up story to start your show off with.
It's very heavy, which is why it's good. I mean, think about it.
So, is what you're telling me that My Little Pony started off way heavier than it actually wound up being?
Yes.
When they rebooted it?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So that's why you like it.
That's why I don't like the new episodes. Well, one of the reasons I don't like the new episodes.
So what you're saying, what I'm getting from you here, is that there's not enough sodomy in My Little Pony Vanilla.
Yeah. Okay, he had a second question as well. So,
a second question, you say?
Mostly for Robert. What advice would you have to encourage someone else to read... Wait, hold on. What about Tyrek? They straight up DBZ'd it. Yeah, that's the point, is that they did a little bit too much. And the thing is, I think it needs to stand on its own. It needs to stand as a concept... let's see if we can put this into words when I am as off-kilter as I am. Oh, there you go.
I read Fallout Equestria with little knowledge about Fallout itself. Okay, so that's kind of what I've said. So you're more likely to be an MLP person getting into it rather than being a Fallout person getting into it.
I mean, there's a massive stigma to My Little Pony. Didn't you know?
And thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being honest about your experience with it.
But I mean, the show itself it was set up to be a certain thing, which was
a show for little girls about ponies.
It's kind of an inherent thing. But I mean, it's set up to be a show about these kind of regular-ish characters in this fantastical world. This fantastical world that is beyond our own.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, yes, but I mean, this was a show in which you actually had an actual theocracy. Your leader was God.
Actually, it's a lot like Star Wars because the unicorns are Jedi.
Except that they shouldn't have been.
What do you mean?
They
even have horns, which are like lightsabers.
Light horn sabers.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of.
All I'm saying is that My Little Pony and Star Wars are exactly the same.
I have a hard time selling that bridge.
It follows the classical folk stories narrative structure of the Russian folk story.
But yeah, and going back, how would you
Magic Giver and the
how would you encourage someone else to read FOE who has no interest in ponies?
Who has no interest in ponies? It's a hard sell.
Yep,
it is a hard sell. But what I would say is, but wait, don't tell people it's about ponies.
Yeah,
just read it and enjoy. And the corny shit, just roll over it. The thing is, you have to enjoy puns.
Yeah. Who doesn't enjoy puns, though? I mean, like...
There are a lot of people who don't.
Personally, I didn't like Fallout when I saw it being played. I didn't like the VAT system. I hadn't played it myself. I had a friend that was big into MLP and FOE, but he barely read anything. And FOE actually made me want to play Fallout, which is not my favorite game franchise. I may or may not have had a full collection of Fallouts. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that
you're a fast typist.
My Little Pony got you into Fallout, which is great
by extension. But yes, by this connector. Yes, you are a fast typist. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because I was like, I can't read these as fast as you're typing them. Slow down.
But what were you talking about beforehand?
How to sell it, and then before that, we were looking at...
The thing is, so here's the deal. The way I would sell it is, if you enjoy Fallout, but you want more stories, and you want stories that actually matter, and I now have hardback books, same as you, the gold-bound one. Ooh!
I know, it is very pretty. It's beautiful.
For what you told me, it sounded like it was expensive.
No, it's not expensive.
Oh, that's right, because it just covered the...
Sorry, what I said is that the resale on it is
I
ridiculous.
was just going to say, were you to resell it,
and I never resell it. No, I'd never resell any of them. They are, as far as I'm concerned, they're priceless. So they're.
But anyways, I would tell someone that if you like Fallout, the world, like the world that's constructed, and maybe you were disappointed with some things in the Fallout story, or you need more Fallout story, it's worth checking out. The thing about it is, ponies is a hard sell.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how we tell people about this podcast. It's with a caveat of, do you really want to know? Because, well, for you,
I mean,
it means you have to out yourself.
It's not even that. It's the fact that, going back to the previous question that Almanac Pony had, is the sexuality aspect. I have a collection of loads of books and Homer's
Odyssey. Edgar Allan Poe, Lovecraft.
See, I don't read much, so I can't. I mean, I have actually all those.
So do you mean the actual manufacturing of the book was better, or are you saying that Fallout Equestria was better than all of those authors? That's a different debate.
Yes.
Yes and yes. Wow.
Well, I mean, no, the actual manufacture of the book is pretty good. It depends on which one. Okay. Which one you actually go with, because I'm sure some of the FOE, some of the Edgar Allan Poe books are probably really ratty. Yeah, because it's based on a bit. It's based on like a Bible.
But even modern printing of that. I guess we were just talking about if Fallout Equestria is better than The Telltale Heart or The Old Man in the Sea.
Manufacturing.
I was wondering. I was trying to clarify.
Better is subjective. There are people who can like it more than those.
Everyone's opinion is their own.
I would not at all ever say Ponies is better than Ernest Hemingway.
Well, and that takes a lot. Being British to acknowledge an American author like that. So thank you. In exchange, one of my favorite British authors is Oscar Wilde, and I know he's a playwright. I get it.
That's still an author.
True.
I mean, it's still regardless of medium, it's still an author. I mean, think about K-Cat's medium here as Ponies and Fallout.
Michael Bay series. It's the only book series I've enjoyed. So it's interesting. So I feel like with this story, there's a lot of people that aren't really big into literature. You're not super big into literature.
No, I'm not. I actually
you don't have the patience for it.
Well, see, well, I mean, there's there's a difference between written media and visual media, as well as auditory, but not as much. Visual media has a different composition to it, because you not only have to get, you also have to get the writing right. You have to get the scene right. There's a certain visual, auditory. I'm sure you probably all heard that ring. So
it's all right.
But there's multiple aspects to it. It's the composition of when they all come together that's important for me, and that's what I actually see as interesting as the composition. There are various stories, movies that I've enjoyed that I didn't enjoy, that I wouldn't have enjoyed as books, simply because the reason I enjoyed them as movies is because the actual coming together of the different aspects. Like, I wouldn't enjoy Clockwork Orange. And I know that the ending of the Clockwork Orange book is different from the movie. I understand that. But the reason I enjoy Clockwork Orange, the movie, is the composition, the actual coming together of the different aspects together. It felt complete in a specific way. I don't enjoy books as much because they're very singular focused. And some people enjoy that. Some people love that straight to the point kind of thing. I like a little more visual composition.
But one day, Chris, when the apes take over and nuke us and knock out all of our computer systems, you won't be able to watch the movies.
I'll have Fallout Equestria.
You'll just have to read the books.
Yeah, I'll read Fallout Equestria.
Thank God you have a printed version of this.
Two printed versions.
God almighty, I hope we don't ever have a Planet of the Apes feature.
Oh.
God damn it, you blew it up! You blew it all to hell!
Except they didn't blow it up, the apes blew it up. Way to retcon the series, whoever you are.
Alright.
I'm blaming Andy Serkis for the whole thing.
I know there's supposedly 4 people watching right now, but we've reached 21 minutes.
I know 3 people.
21. Oh, hey, Chris. Which Fallout Equestria books have you read? Just the original?
I have read. Oh goodness, the amount of ones that I've read.
Which one of these have you read here?
Hello, Tinker. I have read.
Hi, Tinker.
I have read that one, and that one. I have also read Guys of Chaos completely, which I think is fantastic. Like I said in a previous episode,
Guys or gods?
Guys, G-U-I-S.
Guys of Chaos.
It makes sense in the story if you actually read it.
Okay, sure.
It is about the story itself.
I'm not going to, but sure, that's fine.
It's a little two-dimensional. Like I said, it's a little flatter than Fallout Equestria. The character. Do you think Project Horizon is better than the original? No. I loved
No. He said, I think Project Horizon.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a question.
Oh, you're fine.
That was a statement. You just feel differently.
Okay, see, now this is the problem. Every single time. Okay, look, I'm going to be completely honest with you.
This cannot become a Project Horizon cast.
Stop. This is the problem. If anyone asks me what the problem with the fandom is, it's this right here. It's that whenever the story is brought up, somebody mentions Project Horizons, and the second that they do, the entire thing gets derailed. Every time. Every single fucking time, the entire thing just goes flatline. It's all Project Horizons all the time. Whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it, whether the implementation was good, whether Sombra was good, whether Sombra was bad, doesn't matter. It's all about that. It consumes the conversation. And the thing is, yeah, I agree, up to Chapter Black. I mean, Chapter Black was pretty much where I wanted it to end. I thought that was fantastic.
But Big Kev and I were in the back listening to you talking about Fallout Equestria, Project Horizons, and we just wanted to say, we don't care.
That's the thing, is that I am not kidding when I say it consumes everyone. It literally takes the entire fandom and it crunches it into a singularity, and that's the problem. Exactly. That's what I mean. That's what happens, is that somebody starts with Fallout Equestria, and it loses everyone when somebody says, is it good or is it bad?
One fan fiction at a time. I can't, where?
Well, no, he asked me how many I've read.
Where are we right now? Is this the one? Perseverance is what we're in?
It's Project Horizon. Mind you...
No, I'm talking about, this is...
Oh, this is the one we're in. This is the one we're talking about right now.
Yeah, ominous right there. Pretty fucking ominous. Is it gonna be one of them classic Japanese tales where the hero has to sacrifice everything?
Yeah, no. This was made by Brasinio on DeviantArt if you know. I do believe this is unofficial, so I will have to give thanks to him sometime.
I should have probably.
And he has updated this, so this actually isn't what it is anymore. I think he actually removed blackjack.
I just made a funny noise on the stream, so I should probably let people know. Oh,
I read the original Project Horizons, Pink Eyes, and Murky Number 7.
Murky
Number 7. Oh god, that was a hard read. It's not that it was bad. It was great.
Is that not represented here?
Murky Number 7.
Oh, that's Murky Number 7.
I've read it. I read it up to chapter 6. I couldn't. Oh my god, I couldn't. It was so fucking depressing. And it's not bad depressing. It's good depressing. It's just the kind of depression which literally crushes you. You think Robert would? No.
You don't think so?
No, it is very depressing.
How dare you? You just assume that I wouldn't like something depressing? I mean, for God's sakes, I'm friends with you.
Oh god, I am depressing. Yeah, no, it's just sad. And it's not bad sad. It's so sad. I mean, it's so sad. You keep going like, Murky, why can't you I just want to take you and I will put you in a field of flowers. Ever read Hooves of Fate? No, I've been meaning to read that.
I assume that means work in progress?
Yes.
Ah.
The other one that I've read, Broken Steel. Oh God, I'm going to say this. There was a time... Depressing is an understatement. Yes, depressing is an understatement. Dear God.
Crawling in my skin.
No, that's Broken Steel. And for a while there, the author had gone a little bit weird when it came to Broken Steel, like over-criticizing anyone who brought any amount of negative commentary to it. He has changed since. Good on you for taking a little bit of criticism with a grain of salt. However, I would not advise Broken Steel to many people.
So, our after show is reaching levels of length as a normal... Oh, Robert, have there been any scenes so far in Fallout Equestria that you feel have been emotional for you to listen to? Anything that actually affected you? Yeah, the last chapter when Iker was pouring out of steel hooves, that was a little bit of a moment of like, all right, is this the death of steel hooves? Is that what we're dealing with here? Meeting little Pip's mom again, and what a piece of alcoholic shit she is, was emotional. Also, for little Pip to finally have somebody else in the world that gives her reason to exist.
Yeah,
with homage was pretty emotional. There's some fucked up shit. The thing is though that you kind of become desensitized to the fucked up shit. Little Pip goes through enough pain enough times that it's like, oh, here's a new way to explain what agony she's in, which I guess it says how good K-Cat is or was at writing it, at trying to find new ways to describe discomfort. But the whole scenario after she was betrayed coming off of the drugs, that was pretty hard.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I read it, it was like shit. I mean, to a point, I still hate Velvet Remedy as a character because of that. But not.
I'm gonna go ahead and
for
say
more than that. Yeah.
Never liked Velvet Remedy.
Yeah, she's kind of an asshole.
She can't eat a bullet fast enough. I don't give a shit. She has zero redeeming qualities. Occasionally.
Are there any Fallout quests you would like to see portrayed in FOE?
Ponyized is what they said.
Oh, yes.
In Fallout Equestria. I'm trying to think of my favorite quests. The ant agonizer.
Oh God.
And
Mechanist.
Mechanist, yeah.
Yeah. There's also the Republic of Dave, which would be an interesting settlement to go to, where they all just worship this one guy named Dave, who's just
Wouldn't it be great to have a pony that just says Gary?
Watch Robert get certain parts of the story and keep getting excited for reactions of upcoming scenes. Chris, are you the same way? A little bit, yeah.
Oh, whatever. You've been wetting your pants just to have... You've talked about this for years.
I am trying not to overhype myself.
Do y'all want to know what Chris and I agreed on originally? It was like, all right, I'll make this goddamn pony podcast with you. I'll read the book.
It wasn't even that. It was you read the book if I played chess with you.
That's what I was getting to. I said I'd read the book if you would regularly just play chess with me, which you haven't done in 3 months.
There was not a single game I won. I am awful at chess, and I don't care to get better, which is a problem.
But you were getting better, anyways. So it was and we were. I have more fun if we can sit somewhere and have a cup of coffee, a little nosh, and play the game. The problem is we'd sit there and just focus on the game instead of having conversation and playing.
Yeah, that was
I was trying to get the reticular activation firing up of letting our subconscious play the game. rather than us play the game.
Yes. If you ever need somebody to beat at chess, choose me, because I'm awful at it.
No, he's really not. Yeah, chess is a great game, and I am not any kind of expert at it at all. I mean, the guys who are really good are the ones who, you opened with the Caesarean, or you opened with the Prussian defeat.
This is actually a point that was it Rod from Freeman's Mind was talking about in one of the episodes of Freeman's Mind. He talks about how he doesn't enjoy chess because it's literally equal parts forethought and memorization, and to where people like Hawking and Sagan can be completely undermined by some loser who's memorized the moves enough to actually undo them.
Well, it's like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, I mean, once you figure out the mathematical algorithm for Rubik's Cube, it just... Yeah, see, I'm the same way.
My wife still does not know how to play chess and has no interest in learning, and I've tried.
There's some rules to chess that I think need to be thrown out the window, like the reciprocated... Oh, no, it's not reciprocated moves, but the continuous moves, like you can't move a single piece more than 4 times consecutively. It's like...
It's so it's
bullshit.
It's so that if the only piece that you have remaining is your king, that you're not just running around the board.
I know, but half of the battle is literally chasing people who are running around. That's the point of a rabbit. But it's called a rabbit in combat.
It's also for people who kill time just moving the piece back and forth.
I once taught someone to play the game, and after their first proper game, after practice games, they beat me. I was very ashamed.
Well, there can only be one.
Yeah,
and
there can be only one.
They are the Highlander.
Yes.
Because I'm the Spanish Egyptian via Scotland. Thank you, Sean.
I thought it was the Scottish Spaniard via
No,
Egypt.
he was ancient Egyptian. He was Spaniard in the film, and he just spoke with a Scottish accent. Sean Connery.
You ain't calling MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod.
Oh boy!
Isn't MacLeod spelled Leod?
How'd they? It's gone now.
Loed, or Loud, like cloud.
I think it's EOD. I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're closer to them than we are. You should know.
English don't speak to Scottish, and when they do, it's telling them what to do.
Oh, God. We're going to get into political theory soon.
Everyone
run for your lives.
That's why people like my family left your godforsaken country. Exactly. But you and the Scottish can't agree. At least you're not the Poles, right?
The poor Poles. They keep getting shit on by every single person who's next to them.
Since we have another English person, how do you feel about the presenters from Top Gear leaving Top Gear and joining an American company and making the same damn show?
Oh, yeah, but the Scottish and Irish hate us so much, their chant when they face us in other sports is, "We hate England more than you."
That's saying on both sides.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, the English are descendants from the Anglo-Saxons, mostly French, whereas the Irish and the Scotch and the Welsh are all descendants from the Celts, the native
Normans,
peoples.
Right?
No, the Normans are northern France. Normans are part of the Anglo-Saxon. Anyways.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, so the Celts were the native peoples of the British Isles who were subjugated by those who came from France.
England is a really interesting case in that way. People have said that the fun thing about England is pretty much a whole bunch of people invaded and distilled the best invasion genes.
You know, in fairness, you're ruled by a German queen, so I don't,
Windsor.
Well, and that's not the actual name. They changed the name because it wasn't popular to be a Joyman in the early 20th century.
I wonder why. What happened?
Now, what was it that happened with Germany? In fact, I feel like it happened a couple of times. Sorry, in all fairness. I mean, Americans... Yeah, oh, wait.
And the Celts invaded before that. Yeah, I know. There was actually several indigenous peoples that keep getting overrun. That's what I was talking about.
Hey, man, we're all indigenous to somewhere.
No, but I mean that was actually an interesting point that I was trying to make, is that it keeps being invaders that are distilled genetically. So the most successful invaders of England keep distilling their own lineage to the point where England is the most successful invader of any country. And that's the reason that the sun never sets in the British Empire.
I just realized you just dropped the Nazi march on our podcast.
You are completely surprised I did that when you were talking about how Germany several times tried to take over Europe.
No, it's just interesting. I just, subconsciously, I was just like, oh, I recognize that tune. It sounds like Indiana Jones. Dr. Jones. Anyways. All right, this episode has basically gone as long as, this after show has gone as long as a normal show. So I think that's a good place to call it. We're always available to chat. Come on, y'all. YouTube, Gmail.
Yeah. I'll try to get him into more Fallout Equestria side effects. I can't guarantee anything. If anything, it'll probably be... bye, this was fun. It'll probably
Thank
be...
you, Almanac Pony. Always happy to talk to you. Thank you for being here.
Project Horizons before Chapter Black, because like I said in the previous episode... thank you. Like I said in the previous episode, I wanted to get somebody... to read up to Chapter Black and actually see what Project Horizons is if you consider that the last episode. Convert to 2.6 into a fraction or mixed number.
What?
I mean, we can, but
2 and 6 over 10? I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it technically would be 4/5, 3/5, but I'm just... For April 1st, you should make him read chapter 20.5.
So wait, you're just, Almanac Pony, you're just going to keep hinting and referencing it? Oh, I'm really tempted to not, oh, I really don't want to. Shameless self-promotion. Self-promote.
Yeah, I don't
give a shit. Say what it is and we'll say it.
I've said it on the subreddit before. Do whatever you want for self-promotion. It is absolutely fine. I don't give a shit. Our community is not so concerned with monetary or voting whatsits that we should actually give a shit. You should be proud of what you do. I mean, you do things because you want to be proud of it. Be proud of it. Own it. But like I said...
You do you.
Yeah, you do you.
All right.
Thanks, Will. It work.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for the after show. Wednesday, you'll see the actual show. So we will see y'all next time. And with that, I hit finish, and I will say bye-bye.